Yo, what's up guys, this is Atrix here and I have some amazing news related to Cassia Emulator. So finally Cassia is now able to emulate its first actual PC game, which is Portal, as you see in this screenshot. Later on we'll be also taking a look at more gameplay images and clips in today's video. So let's start off by talking about the fact that Cassia may be releasing by the end of this year itself, as the developers are working regularly on it. And there has been a lot of progress recently. We also have many of our questions answered related to Cassia. The first question which we had in our last video was, will it be running on Wine? And the answer is yes, Cassia will be indeed running on Wine. If you guys don't know what Wine is, then let me explain. It's actually an application that allows you to run Windows programs, or in simpler terms exe files, especially on your Android device through some softwares. Wine is similar to an emulator but with a different technology. We have already seen emulators like Exagear, Box64 Droid, etc. which all ran using Wine. But the greatest part about Cassia is that it won't be that complex to use. For example, setting up and running Box64 Droid was quite troublesome if you are a newbie. You need to use termux and set up manual on-screen game controls and still have much more to configure. But in Cassia, it will be just as easy as using Skyline Emulator. Few steps and the emulator should be set up and playable. The developers have mentioned that Cassia will use Wine in a different way, which is way more efficient and does not require termux. We have another confirmation to our previous question, which was, will it be able to run few specific games or all exe files? The answer is that Cassia will be able to run most of the exe files directly. That's another awesome confirmation from the main developers themselves. Most importantly, you guys will now have another question, what about low-end devices, right? Devices with MediaTek or Exynos processor, namely who have Mali GPUs. In Box64 Droid you actually have to use Virgil, whereas in Cassia it will be using regular Mali GPU drivers which comes with your device. So you have no need to configure the emulator in a different way. Your devices with Mali GPU should probably be also able to run it efficiently. Speaking of performance, the developer has indeed confirmed that the performance of Cassia will be improved quite a lot over the time, just like we saw with Skyline Emulator. And when he actually tested Portal, here's the screenshot, on the Cassia emulator, it could be emulated in 4K just fine on their Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Android device, and the GPU wasn't bottlenecked, so performance will depend on your Android device specifications. However, to improve the performance of Cassia even more, it will have the ability to use custom GPU drivers, so no compromise in terms of features. One funny message I read was, at this rate, Cassia will come out even before Strato, which made me laugh, as it's true, there hasn't been a single official release or announcement related to the development of Strato emulator yet, but I know the developers are giving it their all and everything takes time. And right here is one of the gameplay clips of Cassia. It's actually opening a game and there are indeed some flickering issues as expected from an emulator in so early development. There has been another confirmation that Cassia will be officially a closed source project. Now this is to prevent it getting cloned, but all the Wine changes will be open source. I don't really know how to feel about it being closed source, but if it helps the developer, then being closed source is a good way to keep the software private until it's released. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are excited for the official Cassia PC emulator for Android. Subscribe to stay up to date with all its latest news, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.